Well, greetings and welcome to another thrilling, possibly exciting episode of the Planetary Persuader. I'm Cosmic Kev, your host. And yes, we're in that waning moon period now. This is for August 11th, 2017. 11 is a master number, and so we're coming down from that full moon lunar eclipse. But when this moon cycle's over, we got that serious total eclipse new moon a week from this Monday. So today, well, in Western astrology, moon's in Aries. So, moon is in Aries, and that's a good place for the moon to be. Looks like it's probably in the nakshatra of Uttara Bhadrapada or Uttara Bhadra, which is kind of like the two-faced deal. It's ruled a little bit by Saturn, which is not so bad on a Venus day, but it's in the Jupiter-ruled side of Pisces. So, we look in the constellation Pisces, that's where we'd see the moon. We look at our Western tropical horoscope, we'd say moon is in Aries. Okay, so. And moon is, getting close to Uranus. In fact, there will be a conjunction with the Uranus Saturday night, Sunday morning, the 13th. So, exciting things, exciting things could happen with that. Sun in Leo, we're getting further. And the sun is now moved into the latter part of Leo, which is the nakshatra of Alesha, rather, which is like Mercury ruled. And it's the snakes and it's the Nagas. And so the Nagas and snakes, sometimes they're associated with poison, but they're also associated with medicine and healing. Not a great place for Mars, because it's still Vedic Cancer time. Yeah, and sidereal astrology. So, well, Mars will progress, and by a couple weeks, Mars will be in Vedic Leo, and it's there'll be this kind of more upright forward movement, and that's what we got to do as people is straighten up our backs and move forward in a good way. And we need to be generous with our ability to heal ourselves and others. And so, just like thinking about what's going down this week, because we are going to go into Vedic Leo this week too. Because this is a horoscope from the 11th through the 18th. So by the 16th, the sun is going to be in Vedic Leo. Okay? So at that point, we're in the Magha Nakshatra. That's where the new moon's going to happen. And that's about honoring our ancestors and the root of our existence. How much we have to be grateful for to have this time. And that's really, for me, that's what I've been learning. Is man, I need to have more gratitude. God, can I be thankful for everybody around me? Can I do something to elevate the vibe and make it more positive? Because that's what we want right now. And we want to facilitate each other's healing. It's good to be wise like snakes. But it's also good to be harmless as doves. So we're going to get into it. Sign by sign, your horoscope, starting with Aries, on the Planetary Persuader, Cosmic Kev 100. With me, your host, Cosmic Kev. So, greetings, Aries. So, if you have male children, I would be paying attention to them. You know, this Mars transit in your 5th house, big deal. And it's really amazing how that happens every time. I think it's like paying more attention to your own ability to have creative expression, to see yourself as a clown, a teacher, a parent, particularly fathering, the aspects of parenting that we associate more with fathers, taking kids camping. I mean, I see women, moms doing it too, you know, taking on that role. But I also see there's more men raising their kids now than any time that I was born. You know, in the last 30 years, it's really accelerated a lot. And I think it's good, you know, because I think part of the honoring of the goddess and the elevation of women is for men to take on a more nurturing role. So they have freedom to do other things too. And also, it's a freedom for you emotionally. You know, you as men who do nurture your kids, you're going to probably have a longer life expectancy because you're going to have emotional connections. They're going to motivate your life to keep going and regenerate, and it's a beautiful thing. And they're going to be there. Your kid's going to love you. They're going to take care of you. That's what you want to do. So Aries, that's my full-on horoscope for you right now. This week is Moon's in your sign, so it's all about, you know, love. Take courage, take risks. This is good. We need this. We need that inspiration. Well, greetings, Taurus. Welcome to your horoscope. You know, Venus in the 3rd house. We love to journal, write. We love to work with our hands, juggle, play musical instruments, write stories. Get in touch with our friends and neighbors in a good way. You know, baking them cookies, giving flowers, things like that. I mean, that's what the world is made of, you know, and the whole world is hurting. Everybody needs a cookie and a hug right now. Maybe some people don't need the sugar and the carbs from the cookie, but they really need the hug. You know, maybe they just need some bone broth or something. That could be better. I don't know. Yeah, I get you. You know, the violence animal. You know what? Violence towards plants is evil. That's why there's a Save the Redwoods League, people. I'm sorry. We're not going to do any of the speciesism, higher order thing on the Planetary Persuader Day, because you know what? I don't know. All right? I know that we're all children of the Creator, whether we're winged ones, rooted ones, you know, ones that live in the water. We're all, you know, we're all part. Kindness. Mosquitoes, you know, let them out of their misery. There's a lot of closet mosquito hunting vegans out there. You know, right, Taurus? Yeah. No, I know. It's harder for you because you love food so much. I get it. Yeah. Oh, boy. Well, you know, this is a time where you could be moving. You could be dealing a lot with family issues. I mean, I would lay low today. By Sunday, Moon's going to be in Taurus. It's going to be your moon. So Sunday, Monday, you're going to be like, all, yay, me. Well, cool. Enjoy that. All right. Hello, Gemini, and welcome to your horoscope. Okay. You know, it's about breathing, and it's about friends, and it's about siblings and cousins and people you grew up with and the stories you tell. And, you know, the influence that your parents had on you is partly what you're communicating right now. In fact, Mercury in the 4th house, it's like, I got to honor my ancestors. You know, and by the time the 16th of August comes, that 4th house kind of experience is going to be right there more with you. And you're going to get a little more understanding as we go into these next 10 days. And, you know, there's going to be that new moon, and we're going to be like, whoa, shoot. It's going to be like activation for the whole world. We got work to do, folks. Right? Yeah. That's right. So, you know, if you're feeling some inner turmoil this week, I just want to say, you know, love. Get in some water. Cool down. Rest more. Try not to hurt yourself or overdo it. We got plenty of time for that stuff. You know, this is a time, make friends. Be good to your neighbors. Don't give in to fear. Don't give in to nonsense. Got a moon in Gemini on Tuesday morning, carrying us through later Thursday morning. So, you know, you're going to be in your element. You're going to be doing good. There'll be this nice switching fold from sidereal Cancer to sidereal Leo. You might feel the dance, your more subtle, sensitive ones. Now, we feel the seasonal dance of tropical astrology, that's for sure. It's easy. That's why we do this. Hello, Cancer. Welcome to your horoscope. Okay, so Venus in the first house still, so you're all love. You are giving a lot of hugs. You are giving a lot of love. You're making a lot of nice soup for people. You know, you're baking things and doing all your wonderful nurturing, giving flowers, Cancer stuff. Well, you know, so we got Mercury going retrograde. Yeah, you, right. And that happens when? Saturday night or Saturday late afternoon, 6:01 p.m. So, you know, and it's in Virgo. So, you know, what I think about when Mercury goes retrograde in Virgo is like we're so stuck on the little details of something. Oh my gosh, it was all Russia's fault. That we can't see the whole bigger picture anymore. No, 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 no. We just got to go in this one little nitpicking canyon that's covered with grease that we can't really get ourselves out of, and we don't see the big picture. So it's like we have to get up over all this stuff. Is that, you know what, we lived apathetically for years and years because we benefited from a relatively decent system and all, and the pigs took over, okay? All right, that's it. So can we just like accept that now and be all right with it? That, you know, their hands are tied. The bankers will execute you if you don't do what they say. It's all, you know, I'm not being cynical. Just follow the money, people. This is not like any news. It doesn't take a genius to figure this stuff out. You know, so Cancer, you know, since most of you are sidereal Vedic Geminis, this Mercury retrograde thing, it's real. And it's in your third house, so it's a really, really real. And conscious communication, nonviolent communication, loving, tender communication. That's where we're headed towards. And in this week, we're going to go to a place where we're not going to be as stuck. We're going to actually kind of elevate. We're going to feel a little lighter. We're going to feel a little better. We're going to feel a movement towards more love and understanding. Yeah. Because that's what we're really about. And this weekend you might have some responsibilities, you know. By Sunday I want you to chill out with your homies. You know, feel good about it, because that's like Moon Exalted Day. You're going to like that. You're going to like your Sunday, Monday, Cancer, okay? So you enjoy those days. And, you know, maybe lay low a little bit, middle of the week, don't take too much on, and then, well, next Friday is all about you again. All right. So, Leo, my friend, happy birthday. Happy birthday. So many Leos this week. Definitely happy birthday to Terry. Because, what is the saying? 55 saves lives? Right, okay. All right. So, yeah, all of you. Your brother Russell is having a birthday this week as well. My gosh, birthdays everywhere. Camilla Sutton, my teacher, you know, really initiated me deeply into Vedic studies. Wonderful teacher, by the way. If you want to study Jyotish, woman knows her stuff. Let's see. All right. So, you know, Leo, with you right now, you have a lot of energy. You know, and you've got this ability to really express yourself in a powerful way. And those of you born the 15th and before, it's a little different if you're born the 16th or afterwards. I've definitely felt that energy before, you know, because this is a kind of a tough week, because like we're in the end of Vedic Cancer, so this is like the Gandanta, you know, the sun cycle, and it's like, can we give up our childish things in order to initiate a better life and to take more responsibility and more involvement in the world? And that's a lot about what this week is about. So it's kind of like your graduation ceremony this week. Yeah. Finishing off old business too before the new moon. Super important to do. And you know, things are going to get better. That's the other thing I want to say. It's like, you know, you're more conscious about where you want to move. You're good about making money. You got ideas in that. So that's really good. But there's other things that need to be looked at. There's also a nodal change, I think, in sidereal. That's actually going to go into Vedic Cancer, too. So that's going to be interesting. Okay. All right. So now Virgo. Yeah, I mean, you know, some years are rougher than others, right? They say Year of the Rooster's a lot like Virgo. I definitely see that, but more in a Jupiterian sense, and certainly more in a sidereal sense. But, you know, perfecting your craftsmanship, your art, all of that's been part of this year. The other thing. Well, I mean, just pay attention to your spiritual life. Pray for your enemies. You know, pray for the people you've had the hardest time for. Pray blessings on them. Pray blessings on the worst people. You know what? Because they probably need it. You know, if we're going to heal the planet, we're going to have to work on our weakest links, folks. We can't just keep on embellishing everything that's making us strong. You know, we're going to have to do the dirty work. We need more Mother Teresas in this world, and less, you know, Voldemorts. And so, Virgo, you got some good critical knowledge here. You got some good things to say. And even though Mercury's retrograde, it's like you're thinking about it. You're really holding space to make thoughts go good. And it's huge, you know. Uranus and Moon in the 8th house this weekend. It's kind of like you feel a little bit more vulnerable. Good time to link up with nature. I look at I look at when planets transit, you know, 4th house, 8th house, 12th house. Get in the water. Go swimming, embrace the water element. You know, that's what those houses are about. And I think a lot of times, all too often, you know, we need to kind of, I think like the whole house system is a really good system in that we embrace the element, that environment of the house. It's beautiful. It's going to help. And you know what? You're going to feel more alive after the 16th, Virgo. Okay. Hello, Libra. Yeah. Well, I mean, this is social time. You know, it's been a party time for you, really. You know, it's social engagement, making good friends, checking out things. Economically, there's a sense of expansion and growth. And so it's you know, it's been very heart opening. There's good friends showing up for you, and I think it's beautiful. You know, I think there's some really wonderful things happening in your life, and I appreciate you. You know, as you strive towards excellence. Pay attention to your dreams right now. They have messages for you. So there's like a little bit of like, you know, the beginnings, the inkling beginnings of working on your karma, where you might feel a little more isolated. You might be entering into a space you're going to have to work a little bit harder. But it's going to get better. That's the good news. You know, and next week you'll be like, okay, I'm ready. You know, and that's all right. You know, and I'm ready to do the spiritual work. I'm ready to make good karma. Go away on a vacation. Do what you need to do. This weekend's kind of romantic. Friday, Saturday, it's nice. Moon in the 7th house. And you know, Venus still in the 10th. People still see how good looking you are and how you make things nicer. Well, hello, Scorpio. And you just wreck everything. That's terrible. I don't mean that. You know, I mean, like, I remember one time I was like hitchhiking around Big Sur, and this one guy said, you know, people, he thought in his opinion, like Scorpio and Gemini for him were the scariest signs. He couldn't really, like, I don't know. I'm like, okay. And they're kind of related because Gemini's 8 signs away from the 8th sign. You know, Scorpio's the 8th sign, even Gemini's the 3rd, but it's 8 signs away from the 8th. You know, this is how we do it in Jyotish or Vedic. So, you know, I'm thinking about you, and it's like, well, Leo time for Western Scorpio is about working with the public, and it's about career moves, and you've been pretty dynamic and good. But it's like by the end of this week, you're going to move to more of a social sphere. It's like a lot of that career pressure that's been on you is going to dissipate. It's not going to feel so bad. And you're going to have some really good people around you and say, gosh, I appreciate you. You know, and that's not what we're here for. It's just to appreciate each other. Venus in the 9th house. Sometimes long distance relationships, kind of exotic relationships are unusual. They're fun, you know, they can... You know, Venus can raise the dead, folks. I've learned that. And so, you know, I mean, I know like in the in the 70s and stuff, there were a lot of songs, Love the One You're With, and, you know, any love is good love, so I took what I could get. I mean, a lot of it's just tongue-in-cheek and, you know, incredibly disingenuous and shallow, but there is actually some really deep truth to that. Just a smile from somebody. Appreciating it, even, you know, having affection for a pet, it's still love. Taking care of your plants, it's love. When you clean your house, it's love. Everything you're doing, it is love. And nobody loves harder than Scorpio. So I hear anyhow. And if it's my experience, I'm not supposed to talk about it. Oh God, yeah. But anyhow, we can go on. Let's go to Sagittarius. So you've been keeping Saturn company, you know, in Western astrology, you've been keeping Saturn company for a little while now. Saturn, you know, has been retrograde, but it's going to go direct in a couple weeks. So that's kind of good news. But it's like a lot of things maybe that you were doing 2 or 3 years ago, you wish went differently, you've kind of mulled over them, and there's sort of like been more of this stickier pattern. It's hard to get out of, kind of hard to break out of, but you're doing okay. You're exploring exotic locales, and this weekend is great for travel. It's great for creative expression for you. I mean, you're going to do good. It's not going to be so bad. And I think the thing is that when you have Saturn in your first house, you're just realizing, like, man, a lot of people suffer. There's a lot of hard stuff. You know, I've seen a lot of hard stuff, you know, since the Alessia new moon in June. I was like, oh, man. I hate seeing that suffering. But it's okay. It's okay, because when we return to love, we start to heal. Suffering's still real, but we start to get intimate with our wounds. And this appreciation for what we've had to overcome. I like it. Saturn transits. Overcomers, people. Well, Capricorn, greetings. Welcome to your horoscope. Okay. So, I would recommend this week for Capricorn to give things away. Things you don't need, maybe some things that are dear to you, but you almost never use it. Powerful. Giving things, you know. You lighten your load, you make good karma for yourself. You do. You create a space. You're creating a magical space just by getting rid of things, and that karma does go out to help others. So we don't have to worry about that. If you haven't worn it in 2 years, you're not going to wear it, you know. Give it up. That's something to think about. And it's good advice for me to take for myself. So this weekend, starting out Moon in Aries, good time to work on your house, stay home, chill out, you know, maybe you have big plans, but, you know, stay with your tribe, stay with your family. It gets really nice Sunday. Monday, you'll be feeling more creative, you'll be moving forward in that light, and, you know, I think as we go towards the end of the week, you'll be feeling that sense of dharma, sense of, wow, I want to take positive action. I want to do better things with myself. I want to do better things for other people. So that is going to be good. That is going to make you feel better about life, yes. Okay. Well, greetings Aquarius, welcome to your horoscope. So that full moon last week was kind of a doozy. And yeah, I know there's more. I know we got the big lunar eclipse, and I I hate to say it, I feel like it's like the racist heartland of America, you know, and it's like not fair. There's racism everywhere. There's racism from San Diego to Maine, from, you know, from Port Angeles to, you know, Key West. You know, there's racism all over the country. But I just like Oregon. I love Oregon. But in 1859, they said no black people come move here, and I'm like thinking, man, that is not cool. You know, those are my friends. Those are people I know's family. Whoa. You know, and it's like all the things, you know, there's bad things happen in all the states, every state, you know, but this is the American eclipse. We haven't seen anything like this since 1776. Getting closer to a Pluto return, too. It's like, get what I'm feeling? There's this collective vibe going on, like, oh my gosh. For you, you know, Leo's about being the lover. And for you, you're on the outside looking in, you're like the cool head. It helps, man. Helps to stay cool. You know, very difficult if you're a young man, especially in your late teens or 20s, and you're in the presence of a gorgeous, alluring woman. It's just bad. And that stuff, you know, if you're kind of only a little bit interested in, she'll probably be more interested in you than if you're like, wow, I got to meet you, you know. Kind of, you know, it depends on how suave you are in the approach, I suppose. If you can emotionally connect in a good way, then good. But you should be able to. I think right now it's like love through service. Serve other people without expecting anything in return. And somebody will just pick up on, wow, that person's got a good vibe. I want to be near them. That's all it is. You know? And how do we get that good vibe? Well, we go into the silence. You know, we confess our lesser deeds, you know, to the higher power, and we ask that we can be doing better. Yeah. And so, and we make plans to do better. We go to counselors, we go to yoga class, we get help. You know, we do things, martial arts, whatever, you know, grasshopper. Why is it that, you know, you know, listen to Master Pooh and what he has to say, you know, you gotta listen to your sensei. Honor your guru. Knowledge is key, but love is crucial. You're making negotiations, you're making points, and sure, you can discover the exotic or neurotic and still come up with something fun. All right. Greetings, Pisces. Welcome to your horoscope. Okay, so Leo time is a lot of work for Pisces. There's a lot of people to be served. There's a lot of teamwork to be coordinated with other people. How do we become better team players? When we're so in love with ourselves, with our greatness, it's a struggle. It's like let them in. Coax them. Treat everybody like they're a star. Entice that star quality from everyone. You know, I think that's really one of the Leo messages. You know, can we just give a little bit more so we could see how wonderful each other is, how we can shine in leadership, in generosity, in courage and love, and the courage to be loving. I am so looking forward to being with you next week, where I give you, the new moon lunar eclipse forecast. You're going to love it. We'll do this again.